Welcome to my space. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin. Let's get my face out of the way and talk about this fun birthday card. So my birthday card, clearly it's a birthday card, but it's a different shape. And let me just take a second and talk about how we get that shape, and then we're going to make a card. There's a new series of dies called Party Banner dies. Now I need to let you know I add the magnetic sheets. They don't come this way. As you can tell, I used the 3 dies from the center. I used one to cut out our folding banner. I used the same one for the mat on the front and the insert on the inside, and then I cut out this piece with the last of it. So I want to let you know how I did that. I'm going to take a second though and talk about the card base before you cut. This is what you're used to seeing from me with most cards, right? Yep, it's kind of that half sheet. It's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. We're still going to use a half sheet of 8.5 by 11, but we're going to cut it in half the other way. So this is 8.5. We're going to cut it at 4 1/4. I'm pushing it up against here. I'm holding it, and then I'm going to cut here. So I still get 2 card bases from an 8.5 by 11. It's just cut differently. Now I want to share one more tip with you if you're going to make a card like this at home. So I'm going to fold it in half like I usually do. And I have a picture of this on my blog along with all the supplies I use, the directions and the measurements, but I did want to point this out. If you've used our dies before, you know the front is flat and the back has a little bit of a ridge. That's the cutting edge. I do not want to cut this because I want it to fold. So when I put it in my cut and emboss machine, can you see there? I have it below the cut edge. And actually when I did it, once I laid it on my cutting plate, I put a couple sheets of, or just a couple Post-it notes hold in place. So that's how I cut it, like that. Okay, now while we're talking about cutting, let's cut that card front. This paper is from Wildflower Birthdays, and there's a whole sheet of just die pieces, like little tags that you can use. And I grabbed the birthday one and I just cut it out. That's how it looks. Then I found the banner piece that would fit it. And this is the tip I want to share with you. I brought it down, and we're going to cut it together here, but I brought it down and I lined up the center of the banner with the center of the base of the cake stand. So what I'm saying is I don't want to cut it here and have more, like, not have my cake even. So let's cut this. And when we're cutting, we're going to use plate 1, plate 2, and this is all on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss plates, all in number 1. So you don't have to try to remember, like, what'd she say? What am I cutting with? And then 2 of the clear plates, which are number 3. So I have down 1, 2, and 3. Let's do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. I have down 1, 2, and 3. Now, I'm going to line this up like we talked about, making sure, 1, that I see paper like on both sides, so I'm not trying to have a piece, and 2, that I'm kind of just centered there. Now that I have it where I want, you could grab washi tape. I have some really inexpensive Post-it notes, so that's probably not the brand name. And I'm going to help hold that in place. Just like that. And I'm going to put a clear plate on top, because we always have a plate on top when we use it, whether we're embossing or die cutting. And just like that, we have it cut. This is not going very far because we're going to emboss in a second, but I'll get this out of the way. There we go. I'm making lots of noise. Sorry, guys. And there's our piece. Isn't that fun? So, as I said, I cut 2 white ones. One's going to be for the inside and one's going to be for the front. So it doesn't matter which one, they're the same size. And this is going to go right here. Now I'm going to emboss this next, which means I'm going to run it through the machine again. There's going to be a lot of pressure on it. And I'm sharing that with you so that when I use my glue, I'm going to be pretty, like I'm not going to use a ton of glue and I'm not going to get too close to the outside. Because when we push down, that glue is going to spread out. And we don't want it to spread out inside our embossing folder. Not fun. So that's just going to go like that. That's pretty all by itself, isn't it? But we're going to emboss it. And what that does is it takes it from like a flat paper, which is really pretty, and just adds an extra layer of texture to it, which is just a little more interest. So this is going to go here. I chose So Swirly. I wanted an overall design. I like the look. The other reason I love this folder is if I'm making a lot of these cards, I can actually emboss 2 at the same time. We're just going to emboss 1 right now, but you could emboss 2 at a time. My embossing folder needs plates 1, 3, and 3. I add that information when I get the embossing folder. So we already have plate 1 in there. 3 and 3 are just our clear plates. We're going to put this embossing folder in, making sure the fold is first. We're going to grab another plate 3 and then send it through. This is a card that comes together pretty quick. Now I'm making mine into a birthday card. Could be a wedding card or an anniversary card or a let's celebrate card. Like really, we could always use cake to celebrate, can't we? Okay. So I have a card front. I have a card base that I showed you how we cut out. And that's just going to go on here. Now I'm attaching it flat without dimensionals because the embellishments I use have a little bit of height to them and I just didn't want it to, you know, push out against the envelope. But you could pop it up if you wanted to. See how much embossing is on here? This is a job for multi-purpose glue. While I love a tape runner and you'll see me use it all the time, when it's heavily embossed, it kind of just slides over the top and may not adhere as tight as you want. And again, I'm pretty generous, but I'm not going anywhere near the outside. This is an easy thing to do and just something different for a card. There we go. Doesn't it kind of say celebrate something special when your card is in the shape of a banner? Like, hey, hey, check this out. Okay. Then the embellishments I used are these lovely little things. Oh, I'm sorry, I got stuck to some other adhesive in my kit here. They are called Flower Accents. They are from the Kintsugi Inspirations Suite, which is just a beauty. And I'm going to use the larger ones. You could use either size, whatever you have. And really, I just picked the gold up. You could grab an embellishment that's in this color or whatever you want. I like to add my embellishments in odd numbers in a roughly triangular shape, which just means 1 is by itself and 2 are closer together. So there's the 1 by itself. Here's the 2 closer together. Look at that. Like seriously, how easy was that card? Now, for the inside, this is a card. This month in my business, I'm not holding in-person classes. It's just not working to have people in my space this month. So people if you don't have stamps at home, they didn't have access to stamps. So as part of their card kits, I'm sharing 2 sheets. They each have different sayings on them. And these are from the Greetings for All Mix and Match. So from here, there's a happy birthday I'm going to put on the inside. But you could write a note. You could do, the other thing that I think would be fun to put in there is, oh, happy day, or there's a larger happy birthday, a congratulations. There's a lot. I love these Greetings for All. I find I'm using them more and more. When they first came out, I'm like, but now I'm hooked. So we have our happy birthday. Now, something else you could do with this, which you're not, those of you who know me are not going to be surprised, I'm not going to, but you could color in those letters. I won't be coloring in letters, but some of you talented coloring people could do that. You could pick up the blue, you could use any of the colors in there. I have just a scrap of paper with cakes on it. And this is just going to kind of pull the card together. I have a piece for our envelope we're going to use and a piece for the inside. This is 1/2 inch wide and it's longer than I need. But those of you who know me know that I struggle with arthritis in my hands, and this actually just gives me some handles to kind of move it around without getting my hands in the glue. And it's just a scrap you'd probably throw away anyway, so I don't feel like I'm wasting paper to have those handles on there. And because I'm using the multi-purpose glue, I can kind of get it where I want. Okay, and then this piece. That's going to go there. I just put glue just on the envelope flap and kind of around the outside. This design has a definite up and down, and I don't want my cakes upside down on my envelope. So the top of my paper goes against the fold, where the envelope flap is going to fold down. We're going to trim this up. My little snips were hiding on me on my table, which honestly, if you want to play hide and seek and you were a crafting tool, my table would be the place you'd want to be. I have piles of stuff off camera. I heard a rumor that there are people who actually craft on a clean table. I don't know, I think that might be a myth. This is my sentiment. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the back and pop it down. Like seriously, done and done. How easy is that? This is going to go on the inside of my card. You could use the multi-purpose glue. I'm grabbing a tape runner because we know how much I love the Seal Plus tape runner. And just like that, look at our card. Like, wouldn't someone love to get this card from you? And then we're just going to trim up our envelope flap. So I pasted this down. See what I mean about the cakes going the correct direction? And we're going to trim it up like so, all the way around. And there we go. Wildflower birthday, all the supplies I used, all the measurements for cutting your paper, the directions on how to put it together, everything is on my Scrappin with Joni blog, and you just go to scrappinwithjoni.com. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. If you liked what you saw, please share it with your crafty friends. And until next time, take care and keep crafting. It's good for you.